Hello and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. My name's Lumin and right now, it's finally time. We're gonna begin our grand adventure by creating our own character and actually playing the game. I've been waiting for this, and I think I'm gonna start on normal. Almost everywhere they strongly recommend easy, but that's mostly for people who haven't played classic RPGs. I've played classic RPGs. Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights, the list goes on. I don't think I want to go on hard or Path of the Damned. Path of the Damned specifically sounds kind of scary. I'm also going to avoid Expert Mode and Trial of Iron, which basically makes it into a roguelike. Who would want to do that? Crazy people. That's who. Only the crazies. You know, I've only just started, and I can already tell that the art style is right up my alley. Ooh, as is the voice acting. You'll see in a moment what I mean. Such a big fan.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
One always starts your adventure on a pretty grim note in games like this. No exception. Pillars of Eternity, absolutely no exception. So, here we are. I kind of know what I want. I won't lie, I've spent about 5 hours in this character creator over the past couple of days. I know exactly what I want. There were some doubts. So I, at first, thought I was kind of keen for All-In. I liked the idea. Then I thought maybe Godlike, one of the other variations of it. I specifically liked Silver Tide, that the Moon Godlike had. It's kind of cool. Then I thought maybe human. You know, I go for the basic all-rounder. Mainly because, again, they can pretty much fit any class. Resolve and Might are both useful, but I settled on elves. The one thing I didn't like too much about the elves was the visual appearance. I kind of like how the pale elves look. I won't lie. I'm actually a fan of that, but I don't like the bonuses you get with them, so I'm going with Wood Elf. And I'm going to go with Ranger. Of course, I get to have a pet, which is kind of cool, and I get to use a bow and arrow, which is what I want to do in games like this. I get to be like a sneaky type character, but also use a ranged weapon. I'm a fan. I am a fan. I won't lie, I'm kind of intrigued by the cipher. The chanter sounds kind of interesting, but I will go ahead and assume that they're gonna add NPCs that you can recruit into your party that are kind of, you know, interesting, and also these new classes. But we have a lot of choices. Choice, however, that I'm going for is going to be Ranger. I just like the idea of it. And I like bow and arrow. And with these two, you get to choose one starting ability. I'm going to go Wounding Shot because it seems like it'll be more useful right off the bat. And I think a lot of the Ranger's abilities focus around damage over time and mobs having like dots on them. So I like the idea of Wounded Shot because of that. Then we're obviously going to go for a wolf. I had a look at all of these and they're interesting. I, for instance, like the stag's splash damage attack, but wolf I can name Nero, so that makes me happy. That makes me really happy. If I was going to go for any other one there, it would have been called Juniper. But this time around, I'm going wolf. Might. The ones with the golden stars are really important. So we're gonna max the might and max the dexterity. I'm really bad at creating characters because what I always end up doing is making like mega glass cannons. And I don't know if that's the best way of doing it. See, I really badly want perception. I think that intellect's very important for rangers because it extends the duration of their damage over time abilities. So that's good to have, but I think I'm going to leave that on 10 and rather pump the perception. So I can have maxed might, max dexterity, and max perception, just so that this character can fill that niche role, and then others that I recruit can take over the other parts. I'm always a little weary of having the intellect too low because obviously in games like this it sometimes affects your choices, your speech as well. I don't like that. That's like the worst. Seriously, that is the worst. Anyway. Might, dexterity, perception. I like it. That's good. Perfect. Big fan of all of this. Now, I read through all of these already, and I don't want to spend too much time boring you guys with the details of each and every single one of them, but I'm going to read through the one that I picked. Now, firstly, I love the outfit that you get with the Living Lands, and it sounds kind of cool, and you get 1 extra might, which is extra damage. So, I'm really tempted, but an extra dexterity, I don't know, that puts me up on 20. Although if I take Living Lands, then I'm on 19 might and 19 dexterity, and might is quite important because obviously that gives you a whole lot of extra damage. So if I go back here, you can see that the 19 might that I've got gives me 27% extra damage. If I had to reduce it by 1, it's 24. That's a lot. It's a lot extra from just that 1 point. The dexterity, however, also big difference. So I guess we should probably look at Fortitude and then decide based on that. Fortitude resists attacks on the internal physical systems of the character. Okay, so poison, disease, etc. And reflex allows you to dodge. Okay, so I think it's pretty obvious that we should go for dexterity. We're going to have a low hit point pool. We're going to have low fortitude. We can have low endurance. It makes more sense to dodge the attacks. So we're not going to be able to go with the Living Lands, although it sounds really interesting. The Living Lands is the mountainous region of a large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. I love the sound of that. And look at that outfit. That's badass. Damn, I wouldn't mess with this ghoul. Then you get this one with like, what is that? Ugh. That's the worst kind of leather. The worst. But, the Deadfire Archipelago sounds cool. Like, really cool. Consisting of the nation of Nasitak, dozens of Amawa settlements, and hundreds of lawless, pirate-infested islands that stretch along the southern sea, Deadfire is home to the Boreal Dwarves, Amawa, and a mixed variety of other races. Oh, that's where it ends. Deadfire Archipelago is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. So, this is like where the pirates hang out. I dig that. So I'm gonna go with this. Extra dexterity is cool as well. And then with these, it's pretty obvious. Again, they give you the cool different extras. And I think that for the character that I'm setting up now, it makes the most sense to go for either Hunter or Raider. I like the combination of Deadfire Archipelago and Raider. Sound like a pirate raider? Come on. How can that not excite you? And I get stealth and athletics. That's pretty much what I want. I want stealth and athletics. I like the idea of survival, of course, because that's something that rangers are generally pretty good at. It's one of the abilities that I think I'll excel at. But I like athletics more because this helps you with things like climbing, swimming, and jumping. Also sounds very important. And stealth is, well, stealth. Allows characters of any class to attempt to avoid being seen or heard. It's used automatically whenever the character is in scouting mode. So I want at least one character in my party to be really good at sneaky stuff. Mine is going to be the one. So the visuals. I actually imported a custom portrait just for this because for some reason, I don't know why, they just didn't allow super nice looking elf portraits or ones that in any way, shape or form match the character that I'm setting up. Phase 2 is my favorite of the lot, and these colors, I think they really don't matter. You can set these in-game, so you can choose anything here. There, we can be the worst ranger of all time by picking the brightest colors of all time. Or like maybe red. Just so that all the wildlife can see me. Hold on, let's go brown. I like the look of brown. And then let's make the pants black. That's cool. So portraits. That does not look like my character. That does definitely not look like my character. Nope, that's a pale elf. What? No. And that's the end of it. Like, that's it. That's literally all the elves. I wasn't too impressed by the variety, so I imported a character from Baldur's Gate that goes by the name of Eora. That's how I imagine my character looking in-game. I know it's not the most accurate representation. There's also a goth version of her. You know, if I wanted that, I could use it, but I'm going to go with the standard one. This is just from the original games. I'm sticking with it. For the voices that are for some reason not playing now, I'm going with Feisty. They're in my character creation video. Just check that out if you did miss them. I like Feisty. I thought that the others sounded pretty good. Sinister is okay as well, but Feisty's, it's right up my alley. So here we go. Finally done. I like it. Let's get started.